puppy's 5th week, we're continuing to expose them to new things. They've now come to the office for a second time, and were introduced to a blue lab, as well as the mini American Shepherd they met before. They wanted to climb onto the wheelchair and were unfazed by someone on crutches. While some of them were outside, serendipitously, a helicopter flew over. They met then a former offensive lineman with a deep, scary baritone voice,
Wake up! Look intimidated.
which also didn't faze them. They're eating 3 times a day now and learning how to drink from a bunny waterer. This helps prevent huge messes in the pen from the puppy stepping in water bowls. They did their first adventure walk, pushing through heavy cover, and they're just now starting to follow and come when called.
We're over here. Follow your noise, yeah. Good boy, come on. Good boy.
There you go.
You guys exploring the jungle. Good job. Yeah, come on.
They're running really well, although they still get ahead of themselves sometimes. The following instinct truly doesn't kick in until about the 6th week, but for now, we still call them to us, and they're learning to come when called, and they do follow for short distances.
Good.
They also went swimming. It's winter in the Pacific Northwest, so that means it's cold and wet out, and the ponds I'd normally use to introduce them to water are far too chilly. So we made do with a hot tub turned down to 80 degrees. Every puppy took to swimming naturally with no puppy splashing or fear at all.
Going over to you, son. Okay. Oh, you're right. Let's go. Good job.
We've informally begun crate training as well. I simply put a crate with its door off inside the playpen, and they make themselves at home. Importantly, they got another exposure to birds this week. They can see well enough now to see a moving quail or chukar, but their micro attention spans make them lose focus quickly, especially if the bird disappears from sight. But at 5 weeks old, they're still mostly oblivious when it comes to birds and associating the smell with the bird. That's why I don't put a lot of stock on how birdy they are at this young age. It takes a while for the neural pathways to connect nose to brain and compute what they're experiencing. On the same day, a puppy's response to birds can go from nonchalance to short bursts of aggressive chasing. It also depends on whether they've just woken up from a long nap, are tired, and are getting ready to nap, or they just woke up and are bright-eyed and raring to go.
All right, Faith.
Sometimes the pause before pounce becomes a natural point. That'd be a point.
Laying birds like it's his full-time job. That's point.
Other times, a flashpoint becomes a lazy belly crawl because the puppy is tired.
Oh, that one's lying down. Maybe it wasn't a point. Maybe it was a crawl.
Slow crawl. That's cute. Wow, put his mouth right on it.
That instinctual prey drive, the instinct to chase down prey, doesn't really kick in until they're a few weeks older, usually around 10 to 12 weeks. But we do see short bursts of it, even this young, as they chase a moving toy or bird. It's just that they don't have the mental maturity yet to continue pursuit or to hunt down a bird. However, to start encouraging the pups to use their nose to follow scent, we started scenting games this week. I trail a finger dipped in fresh chicken through their pen and leave a small pile of chicken at the end as a reward. We'll repeat this every few days and move it outdoors, first on concrete and then onto grass. Next week, we'll continue our adventure walks, try to go through more cover and over some obstacles like logs. We'll also be visiting the firefighters, the train station, and other businesses, and continuing to put them on quail or chukar once a week.